well, Keith. We had some wonderful stakes action there, finishing up that Sunday weekend. How'd you make out on Sunday?
I think it was good. Good day. Good day. Yeah, a couple good performances. The Miss Disco to Miss Harriet, Brandon McFarland. Congrats. She got back to her winning ways.
Yep.
Repelling a challenge around the turn to kick away. That was a really good effort. And Sparkle Blue for motion, looked like a free square, right? Well, it was maybe free. She really had to work for it to get it done at a short price in the big drive. It's I tell you what, Cut from Class ran really, really big on the front end. That's a horse that's just moving. The barn's doing well, and we kind of like a horse they've got today.
Yes, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what we've got going on for today. As I mentioned, well, I didn't really mention it to you, but we did mention it last week. A little bit of respite there from that super sunny, super hot weather. We got a nice cloudy day here today, Keith.
Oh, yeah, I like the little cloud cover. Easier from a chart caller's perspective. I know Dave Rodman, likes this kind of day because when that sun gets out and the glare gets out, it's really, really tough on us through the binocular. So a little bit of a relief this afternoon. Very comfortable, 77 degrees, a little bit of a breeze going on. If you can make it out live here today, please do so.
This is a good day to come out and enjoy the races here today. Fun little handicapping card. It's a little tricky. I think it's a little bit underrated here for today, but it starts off in this early pick 5 in this starter optional 20,000, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up, scratching the 2, scratching the 5. Keith, you have the number 4 on top, and B West here in the barn of Kieran McGee. Tori Alba gets the call.
And I don't know if we mentioned it yet, just 8 races on today's card. So things on the multi-race wagers will keep you appraised. So this is a little bit different this afternoon getting things started. So, Kieran looks really strong here in the opener. B West, Indian Lake. B West looks like the speed. Got some relief. Friar Tucko I like today for Ness is out. Scratch that 2, scratch the 5. So B West going second off the claim. Good move here. I think got him a tough race because Indian Lake comes out of a tough race as well. But Bandcamp holding really good form. Didn't have the most comfortable of trips. Was up close, dropped back, tried to make another move before flattening. I think if he can clear Barron's Legacy, this horse from the outside. I know Indian Lake in the past has had some speed. B West might be sharp right now, a little sharper early. Let's get to the front, try to control things here with Tori Alba. McGee has had luck with this rider. But Indian Lake, man, aggressive move. Second off the claim as well. Video spotlight. Right back at you. This one got away at almost 10-1 that day. I want to say this might have been a value play. We got a good number turning for home. They went fast early.
You
4
had this
wide
one at a
upper
value
stretch.
play.
Yeah, I think we did.
You did, for sure.
And had to wait. Look at this move. Dives inside, is going to work out a trip late to get up. Arden's lucky to be holding good form. Ran a big race, got a win down at Colonial recently with a decent number. I think an 84 and a 2 other than. But Huron's not scared. That's one thing about Kieran. I mean, he will attack. And, man, they got the money there off the claim right back here for 20 if you want him as well. So he's going to be an awfully short price. Indian Lake loves this racetrack. One of these two. Nifty. Shortening up. Interesting. Has some decent numbers back on the page. Going short. A couple shorter works coming in the half mile. Try to get a little bit of speed into this one for today's opener.
4-3-1-6 for Keith Usel there in the early pick 5, and now we start the early pick 4 on the turf here in this claiming 20,000, which have never won 3 for the 3-year-olds and up, going 5.5 second wire finish, scratching the 2 Borletti, scratching the 6 Pudge Boy Palace. You go with the number 3 Katie's Notion for Carlos Mencia, Raul Mena.
Just trying to eke out a little bit of a price here. Callie in race 2. Borletti was going to take a slew of play, but I thought Katie's Notion, these 2 turf races have been good. Got a good second behind Science. Horses keyed up, run some okay numbers. Came back last time out. Steady 5/8. A couple little pauses within that race for Katie's Notion. Drawing inside with some speed. Pace is going to be sharp here. Sir Lance inside. One-way traffic. A couple of these others, they want to be forward. So I think things are going to be hot and heavy up front. Katie's Notion with a cleaner trip. There's turf wins in this family. Makes this run off the pace out of that same race with Claudie Boy. Claudie Boy, another one. It's really good form. It's shown the ability to close. I want to see somebody come from just off the pace in this race. He's got the right kind of running styles. Didn't switch leads till about the 16th, but when he did, he leveled off and finished strong, a couple lengths in front of my horse. Freestanding came back out of that race to run well. Bossman JJ. Second time back sprinting in a row, I think, is going to help him. He holds value at 12-1 morning line. You might get 8 to 10 on this guy. Form a little bit dirtied up, but when he's right, he can drop in, save ground, and work a trip. And that's going to be the key for his late run.
There we go. 3:10.71 for Keith Fusel in the start of that early pick 4. And as you mentioned, we have 8 races. So now the Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race number 3. Lined out a ticket for you. Start with the number 1 and the 9 to 5 morning thoughts. In my first leg, I believe I go 2 deep. Yes, 2 deep in races 4, 5, and 7. Race number 6, race number 8. I like the sequence. You're going to come up with a late pick 4 for us, and I do think this is a really hefty sequence that we have later in the card, so I kind of slim it up here. I go for the obvious pick in this first leg. A $14.40 ticket for you guys, and starts in this starter optional on the dirt, going 1.16 miles for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the 4, scratch in the 5. Keith, you and I both have morning thoughts. Anthony Ferry, Arnaldo Boca Chica. Now going for a second time in a row for Farrier. But third time in a row in general.
Yeah. First 3 races there, I think my top selections originally were scratch. I had to readjust. Yeah. Trash Talking Larry, I liked in here at a good number. Walk Away Joe Sharp win last time. Yeah. Not going to get to see him today. But morning thoughts with this draw, holding very good form. Second off the claim again. A win last time, was able to control it. Got away there. Dawdling fractions. 49 flat, 14. 3-2 wide early, set down upper. Didn't even get asked till about the 3/16 pole, then kicked away from that field. But he doesn't necessarily need the lead either. He's been able to sit just off. He did it to work on a dream a couple races back. Now, the only slight negative I find here, Farrier, 1 for 13, second off a claim in Maryland following a win. Overall, he's 30%. He's dominated Shuckburgh, Ohio, and everything like that. Trying to kind of buck a little bit of a trend. It's only 13 horse sample. But this guy's so sharp right now. Gets the inside draw at 1.16 miles. He might have to deal with the 3 to Tim CM. This horse has got speed. He can kind of go ahead and force it. Couldn't quite go on with Fighter 10. He comes back awfully quick with Corrales. Had a slight touch of trouble at the quarter pole, but he really wasn't going anywhere at that point last time out. Aliferous. We're talking about the Keel Barn, right?
Yes.
Last time out, and if you want to keep working on the dream, which I'm going to do, he fits at this level. I know that was a beaten claimer, but we saw Morning Thoughts go up out of that race into a starter to win. Little trouble, steadied early. He sat very confident behind the speeds. I know it was only a 4-horse field, but tucked in, was patient, responded when asked, really asserted himself upper stretch to win clear. Won 2 of his last 3 dirts and excused 3 back. Very good form, and maybe a little bit more positional speed than the Ness horses that want to come out from a little bit further. I like to see Barbosa get position around that first turn.
1723 for Keith Fusel there in race number 3 that starts that Rainbow Pick 6. We get back to the turf for race number 4. Starts the late pick 5 as well. In this maiden claiming 45, going 1.16 miles on the turf for the girls, 3 to 5. Keith, you have the number 1, the rail horse, Dead Sexy, Madison Myers, Angel Cruz. I fought with this horse back and forth within my top pick as well. Put in a really good performance at just the mile last time out.
This race, no real strong opinion. We're going to get a little value, 8 to 1 morning line. I think that's a right number here for the 1, Dead Sexy. But Madison Myers doesn't run a slew of horses, but the last 21 days, 2 for 5. 4 for 5 in the money with an ROI of 656. Got it done with Tom Hagen the other day at a good number. Maybe the mile and the 16th is just a perfect fit for her. She was a little close 2 races back in a mile 8. That run just kind of fizzled. She might take a little further back. It's Cake Taps Dancer, Shack Revenge. They're going to go ahead and go out there. We'll see if learning to fly off the sprint. I don't think she's quite got the speed of the 2 to the outside, but Dead Sexy should be able to enjoy a dream trip. Will she have the finish and grind it out? She's going to have to improve just a little bit, maybe at this distance. Cake Tap Dancer, Video Spotlight horse, your top selection. We ran a stat, I think, for Mats the other day, the last couple months. The barn has definitely come alive. Has had 11 chances. Unfortunately, was DQ'd out of a race for a little traffic issues caused by that one. But, yeah, runs big here. Good pace, shakes clear. Maybe gets lost on the lead because it's Callie from a rider standpoint. Again, swapping leads multiple times through the last 1/8 of a mile when clear. But when it gets engaged, you can see Crohn's coming. But she was still giving effort and kept on through the wire. Did she just get lost out there?
So in fact, I've got the wrong notes up because I was talking about Sunday races. But for me, in my perspective, I was saying, hey, this filly was also remember, Pimlico on the rail on the turf for this meet was not a great spot to be. So I think there was a little bit of that going on. I think she was also trying to catch up with her rider a little bit. There was a little bit of off balances going on there. So I'm not too concerned. I really think that this one is coming second off of the layoff. That was the first time we really saw that one really give a nice push. Could have, to me also, asked a tick early.
Okay.
Was getting a little bit leg weary just right at the end there. It's something that you often see with these turf runners. It's just the perfect storm for the perfect type of timing with that.
Yeah, I think the positive Chrome came back to win. There, Cake Stat Dancer, she'll be right there. I think she can go ahead and rate just off of the outside horse Shack Revenge if she wants to. That one was part of a three-way battle at Monmouth. Turtles weren't the strongest, but she was the survivor of those other two. Just couldn't quite go on that last eighth of a mile. I think she'll be up with the flow. Your 4-horse, 7, Compass Rises, steady, kind of a grinder, just doesn't seem to get there. Interesting new face. There's a couple. I'm not going to leave Lacey's horse out, Marisol because she comes out of a real killer field in debut at Gulfstream. Had good position, couldn't quite kick on with Vive Veuve, who's come back, I think, greatest stakes place type. So, yeah, interesting. How about Purring? Where does this horse come from? Down in Louisiana, down in Evangeline for trainer Gary Husak. We're going to make the owner Jarvis Racing Stable, LLC. I just thinking, man, it's kind of very interesting move. Ran very well in debut in a maiden special weight event down there at 25-1, nearly got it. Then was declared a non-starter, was in the hands of the assistant starter in that race. Didn't run awful, though. Gave away a couple lengths at the break, got steadied 5/16 pole, churned on. Things get cooking up front. Purring at 20-1. Yes, exact try super play for me.
Super interesting race there in race number 4. 1375 for Keith Fustel. Yeah, interesting to see how that one's going to play out. We'll be right back after this commercial break to talk about the rest of Friday's card.
I always thought I was part of that commercial.
Hey, that's nothing to be. That's not a bad thing, Keith. We did get a little.
For that.
We did get a little. You already do. We did get a little bit of a preview of your late pick 4 ticket. Let's go ahead and roll that up again. You open up with 3 in this first leg.
Yes, 3 deep, 259 Valley High at a 10-1 morning line. Might come down a touch with a scratch of the 1. Skip through 5 big win last time out. 4 deep, Spreadarama here. 2, 3, 5, 7. I do like U.S. Constitution a little bit there. We got a stat, I believe, on that one for Trombetto. Race 7. 1A, you get 2 for 1 here because Ness, you're going to put the X-Man, Xavier Perez, on the plain 1. Irish exit. 1A, 3, 7, 9. I'm sorry, 7, 8. Murray, my bad. And singling in the last. Now you can't leave. Bronx Tail. Gene Alvello, Kelly Rubley. It's now or never time for that.
Interesting. Dramatic single to finish up your ticket at 24. The end of the day. Yeah, there we go. Keith Fustel starts this late pick 4 in this claiming 12-5 on the dirt for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 2. Scratch in the rail horse Champagne Dance. You go with the number 9 South Pacific. Mary Epler. Julio Hernandez ships in for the call.
He had a big day the other day, right?
He
Came in here, was winning races, hitting the
left
board.
And right.
Yeah, making an impression.
Sunday.
Made an impression on Mary. She goes, go ahead. Going to go ahead and put Julio Hernandez on this one. Interesting field here. There is some speed. I'll talk about Valley High in a second, but the 9, South Pacific, I think it's just going in the right direction. Called a hot horse right there in at first sight horse. It was in good form, came back. I think it ran a 60 buyer. 7/8 of a mile, took the rating, made the move, just quite not good enough the last 8. Still trying. I thought it was very willing. One more jump up in these numbers, and I like the ability to kind of sit just off of it. You're going to have some chasers as well in here. If Julio can kind of get some down towards the inside, leaving a 3/8, things will develop up front and make that run.
Yep.
9-2 on that morning line.
Skip through the fire. You mentioned J.D. Acosta gets the call. Won last time out at the just broke the maiden on this essentially course and distance. We just keep things at the 12-5 level.
Yeah, it just jumped up. 23-point jump in the Beyer figures from a 33 to a 56. Inside kick away. Speed good. Got out in front. Final time good. Only 2/5 off of non-winners of 3 in life boys. That was Barron's Legacy, who we're going to see today in the opener. So very good form when these horses for Corrales get hot. They kind of continue on. Valley High, speed horse. Yeah, nearly pulled off a shocker at 56-1 last time.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and watch the early portion of this race. The blinkers went on. I believe this was first-time blinkers for Valley High for trainer Amanda Rawlings, and was very, very sharp. Vied briefly. Kind of went up from the outside to battle and then shook clear around the turn. Opens up 22-2, 46-2, trying to run them off their feet. This is just a brutal beat. And, you know, you got a couple bucks on a horse at this kind of number. You're home. You are home. 2.5 in front. Come on, Wire. The Wire just did not save her, but a really big try. And I think she brings that speed to the table, breaks sharp from inside again. She'll separate and go a long way. 9-5-2-4. Kara in the City's an interesting. I like you got this one into the mix here.
Yeah.
Carlos Mancia. And Beyer not going to reach out and really grab you.
Right.
3-year-old debut, freshened up, and now the ability. The horse was going the right way before the break. Can close. First Lasix. Interesting. This horse has a chance to show some improved form. I think the bottom horse at Majesty's Freedom, right kind of spot here for 12-5. Numbers, they're okay, you know, and I think has the style to make an impression late.
There we go, 9-5-2-4 there for Keith Fusel there in race number 5, first leg of his late pick 4. Second leg is also the jackpot super high 5 here in race number 6. 3,203 to carry over into that in the starter optional 12-5, going 1 mile and 16th on the turf. For the 3-year-olds and up, scratch in the 4, Laco Ameno, scratch in the 10, Gambling Czar, the 13, Low Country. Keith, you have the number 5 on top, U.S. Constitution. Of course, this one is always, you're always going to look at this one for Trombetta, Tori Alba. You have a nice little stat for us.
Yeah, the stat, it's, you know, kind of was digging a little bit for a stat today. It didn't have too much, but Mike, last 3 years, 6 for 26, 23%. Turf routes, third after a 180 to 365 day layoff. ROI, very good, 524. We'll get Tori Alba today. Last time out, you know, too wide, took the rating early, just didn't quite go on. There's not a lot of real true speed in here, Callie, from what I see. I mean, now Helms Deep is probably going to go ahead and hustle out. But this horse has done its best running on or near the lead. I think you're going to see aggressive early ride, get into position down the backside, maybe sit just a couple lengths out of it. This horse can go on the attack and move and battle from the quarter pole home. Uncle Curly, proven veteran here, a 9-year-old, 7-time winner. Video spotlight from last time's trip, July the 5th. Man, was able to get pretty good position from the 10 post towards the inside 2 path. Watch this stretch run. Altered course multiple times. Never really gave up whatsoever. 2x2 is going to find some room late and rallies on to get it. Watch this
on
again.
The lead too.
Just waiting, steadying the gray. Hard to miss, but still giving ever. Prince Kozan, runner-up, came back to run a 79 on a bump-up. So, yeah, I do think Uncle Curly's got a little bit more position, tactical kind of style than 2x2. You're going to get maybe a little bit better price. I go 5-3-7-2, those two. Interesting move for Summer Anthem. 9 for 15 to money, 3 wins. Really good form. In for the 10. Yeah, this horse is really kind of going the right direction and did something I like, was able to run down the loose leader last time out.
5-3-7-2 in race number 6. It starts that jackpot super high 5 as well. Race number 7 is we start wrapping things up here in this allowance optional 55, going 1 mile on the dirt, second wire finish for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, you have the number 7 on top, and this is going to be Sherlock's Jewel. I like this selection here because I fought with this horse on and off of my ticket. 5-2, Shug McGahee, Vincent Cheminade takes the call.
Yeah, it's a really good race. It's like a stakes here for you on a Friday when you look at some of these horses. This is a good batch of runners. Again, I can make a case for a whole bunch of them. 7, Sherlock's Jewel intrigues me a little bit, though. Chaminade comes down. This horse vastly improved since being gelded a few races back. You see the numbers. exploded. Went back and watched the race. So a little bit of a break from Tampa to Monmouth. Good run behind Skippy Longstock. He's been grading some graded races. Ran like a 107 or something recently. But that Salvatore Mile was down inside, never got comfortable. Tapped the brakes into the first turn in a little tight. Rank in behind horses, just never settled, and that was it. Got to about the 3/8 pole, said no mas. I like that this rider says, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm ready to go down there and take another shot on Sherlock's Jewel. This horse, again, not quite as fast as a horse like Bob Marco, but I think he can get the jump on a couple of the deeper closers, say a Magic Michael. So I'm going to use this one. Definitely improved here for McGahee since being gelding. I'll give a pass to that last race. Magic Michael, another one. Back on Lasix, hurt with some flow. Certainly works. You look at his races over this racetrack. 7 for 8 in the money with a couple wins. Loves the one-turn mile. Can handle it. No issues whatsoever. Murray, good. Murray's interesting. She got a 3/4 mile work into this horse. Really only tried the one-turn mile one time, right? Yeah, ran out at Santa Anita. It's a 2-turn. Couple races back. It's sizzling time. Wanted a big, big number. This one freshened up a little bit. I think he's going to be lurking, ready to strike. I think he does make the first move into Bob Marker. Here's our video spotlight horse. A horse Bob Marker for Kira McGee, who ran some just dominant races, would open up and say, see you later. We go back to the most recent race. I think this horse kind of got away a little bit slow, but then is used, look at this, into the first turn, extremely wide, 5 wide, 23-2, 46-1. This is a Secretariat kind of move, and just can't hold on from there. Just that early trip, the first 5/16 of a mile did him in. If he breaks sharp, we got Robles. We're going to go to the front, and we're going to see how far we can go. Going to be tough. Freshened up, works. Karen's Notion might have something to say about the early part of this race. He's got back speed. We'll see if he brings it here with Acosta. 7-1-8-3, and a tough race for me here. It's a good quality field. Even Celestial Moon. I'm going to talk about this one for a second. Stidham brings this one in. First time in the barn for Stidham. Plus 180-day dirt routes. I know that's not a huge sample, but he's 3 for 7, 5 for 7 in the money with a positive ROI. This horse is second time gelding. You look at some of the horses he's run against. They've done good things since. Horses he's beaten. Ran against New Grange, who came out of that last race, the most recent race on this horse's page. I think won a couple grade 2s. Don't leave this one out of your exactus. There's Julio Hernandez again, going for a live rider. Yeah, I'll be intrigued to see what kind of price we get when the gates open. A couple good works up at Delaware. Second time gelding angle works for me as well.
There you go. 7-1-8-3 is the top 4 you ended up on.
Yes.
But within a very, very talented field here for race number 7. Race number 8 is a claiming 20,000 for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 3, going a mile and 16th on the dirt. Scratch in the 6 peppermint class. Of course, you go with Now Use Can't Leave. This is your single on your ticket for your late pick 4 here in the barn of Kelly Rubli Ginovello.
Yeah. Been a long time. Last win in May of 2022.
That's all right.
Just steady figures, and I think they're like, we got to get a win. And I hope it's just not a little too late. I just think her form, lukewarm out of that last race, came back to win again in a 2 other than a dominant performance. You've got a rider like Alvelo. I think he's going to work out a great trip here, be able to save some ground, some speed to the inside, especially with Please Marry Me going to go out towards the front. I think Major Houlihan will be sent a little bit more today, get a little bit closer. But she's got the right kind of finish against the right kind of horses, only beaten a little bit by Charm White. We know what that filly is capable of. So, yeah, Now You Can't Leave. Come on, one time. Grind them down late. Crimson Princess, certainly going to be a major player in here. You see the short comment, jostled, 3 deep, dueled and faded. It's a 4 to 5 favorite. Been favored, 3 of the last 4. Got it done a couple races back. I think she's going to enjoy a beautiful trip inside out here with Sheldon Russell from just off of it.
Why not? 5178 with his single on the number 5. Now You Can't Leave. But before we take off, we're going to discuss your value play. Of course, underneath in race number 3, this is in your exacta, the number 7, 12-1 Eliferis for Katie Keel. Jaron Barbosa.
Yeah, unfortunately, that price probably is going to get cut in half, unfortunately, with the scratches of the 4, Trash Talking Larry and Walk Away Joe. But yeah, the barn, they're doing great work. The horses are running. Hop on board. They're live. I think you've got a rider, Barbosa, who's been on a roll, positional speed to get up there. I think we'll be able to kind of track in just behind the leaders and had plenty. Really asserted itself nicely top of the stretch last time. And if we can get around 6-1, I'm definitely going to use because the inside horse can be very, very short.
Absolutely. Fun little card here for Friday. Keith, thanks for joining us here on the morning show. And Dave, we'll go to you for more changes and scratches.
All right, good luck.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park. Track is fast and the turf is firm. Temperature in the upper 70s. Winds out of the northeast at about 10 miles per hour. Under partly cloudy skies now. 8-race program. Here's a look at your program changes. First race, scratch 2, John Hall. 2, John Hall, scratched. Number 3, Indian Lake, jockey Jevion Toledo. Jevion Toledo on 3, Indian Lake. Scratch 5, Friar Tuck. Second race, scratch number 2, Borletti. Number 4, Golden Arm, jockey J.D. Acosta. J.D. Acosta on the 4. Scratch number 6, Pudge Boy Palace, scratch 6. Number 9, Jumping Jagger Flash, 5 over. Third race, scratch 4, Trash Talking Larry. Scratch 5, Walk Away Joe. 4 and 5 scratch, race 3. Fourth race, number 5, Purring, owned by Jarvis Racing Stable, LLC. Number 6, Messolet, 1 over. Fifth race, scratch 1, Champagne Dance. Number 4, Kira in the City, jockey Carlos Lopez. Carlos Lopez on 4. Workout for Kira in the City, July 21st here at Laurel Park. 3 furlongs, 37 breezing. Number 8, Faith and Liberty, 1 over. Sixth race. Scratch 4, Laco Ameno. Scratch 10, Gambling Czar. Number 11, Bonded jockey Angel Cruz. Angel Cruz on the 11. Scratch 13, Low Country. Scratch 13. Seventh race, number 1, Irish Exit, jockey Xavier Perez. Xavier Perez on the 1, Irish Exit. For Karen's Notion, jockey J.D. Acosta. J.D. Acosta on for Karen's Notion. In the 8th race, scratch number 6, Peppermint Class. Scratch 6, Peppermint Class. Following the 8th race, we'll have 6 races from San Isidro, Argentina. Rainbow Pick 6 carryover is $2,572. Jackpot Super High 5 race 6 carryover, $3,203. Early Pick 5, late Pick 5, both with a 12% takeout. Early Pick 5 is a mandatory payout. Late Pick 5 with carryover potential. 24 minutes to post time. Fast and firm. Good luck today at Laurel Park.